Hey yo, welcome back to the Boxing Politic. It's BG, and yeah, coming to you guys to talk about some recent news. I saw an interview on FightHype with Mikey Garcia. They started off talking about the rumors of the Conor McGregor and Manny Pacquiao fight. He kind of joked around with it, and and then said, "Yeah, I think McGregor's next fight will be Manny Pacquiao." And that might not. He said that won't be Manny Pacquiao's next fight because his next fight is gonna be me in about 2021. Um, yeah, so that was interesting news. That was surprising news, and it was something that the interviewer kind of hinted at. If you check out the interview, you'll notice she was talking about something that he and her talked about off camera. So she was asking if it's something that they could bring up or anything, and he was like, just kind of chill on it. We're gonna just wait for the confirmation or something like that. And then yeah, he announced it on camera, and she sounds shocked. Like she sounds shocked because it seemed like that's what they talked about off camera, and then for him to go from don't bring it up to he's announcing it right there on FightHype was a was an interesting turnaround, I guess, for her. So yeah, if this is Pacquiao's next fight, it's a clear duck. It's a duck. It's a duck like a mug. It's a funny one, but it's still a duck. Like first, there was news that let's go back to the beginning. Back to the way in the beginning. So any news of this fight really started when Mikey and Errol were set to fight. And when you watch the fight, Manny was at ringside. He was checking him out, and then he actually got in the ring after Errol went ahead and demolished him. After he demolished Mikey for 12 rounds, probably could have got him out of there, but just put on a clinic while beating his ass the whole time. He finished off, got his win, and Pacquiao steps in the ring. He stands next to him. Spence was pretty much on go, like, yeah, let's do this next. And you could tell that he was non-committal. Pacquiao had come there to see Mikey. He didn't come there to see Spence. So even with the crowd being so large, it wasn't worth the money for him. So it was the most money you could make in the division, but it wasn't going to be worth it because he knew what would come at the end of that. So the next fight ended up being Sean Porter. So he does the unification with Sean Porter instead. Mikey fights Jesse Vargas. Pacquiao sits on the bench. And then the accident happens. Because after that, there was still time to really sign the match for the unification. They could have been in negotiations, but it seemed like Danny Garcia was up next. So Danny Garcia's up next. The accident happens. Danny fights in January. COVID happens, and here we are with Danny and Errol Spence about to lock horns in November. So shortly after that time, we get this information. And it seems to me that this fight, the fight between Spence and Pacquiao could have been signed. It could have been signed in the meantime. It probably could have been signed. I mean, if you're not going to fight until 2021, why not have Spence be the fight back? So if Spence isn't his fight back, I'm pretty sure he's going to go ahead and look at somebody else. He's probably going to, honestly, with his schedule being what it's been, he's due for a lighter fight, but I don't think he's going to take one because he might not get pay-per-view funds for it, and that seems like the routes he wants to take. So it's probably going to be a bigger fight, back to back. They say that the Sean Porter rematch is in play. because somehow he made it right back up to the top. And it should do well. It was an extremely exciting fight. And if Spence really impresses in this fight and he keeps the mind state that he's had of just going at it, like being ready, not getting ready, staying ready so you don't have to get ready, then I think we'll see an improvement in his performance, and that's gonna put the division on notice. But yeah, with those two things, I still feel as if Pacquiao, if you're not gonna fight till 2021, he could have signed. He could have waited and signed for that fight. The negotiations could have happened, whatever. But Mikey Garcia was always the route he wanted to take. He wanted to take it all the way back last year. Not even last. Yeah, it was last year. Yeah. So he wanted that win early. He didn't. He never wanted to be in the ring with Spence. That's just not good for his career. Not good for his health. And he really made that known. As for Mikey, I don't know how he keeps looking the hell up and getting in these positions. I mean, with different fighters, a different fighter when after that beating, he would have had to go back to the drawing board. He went back with Vargas, and it was a very close fight with Vargas. Somehow, he ended up getting like his second highest career payday fighting Vargas, fighting Jesse Vargas on the zone. And I mean, it's not like he's a spectacular draw like that, so I'm not getting where it's coming from. But he gets that. He's gonna get the Pacquiao fight, from what it sounds like, which would, I mean, I'm gonna go with Pacquiao to take the win, considering they're the same size, height-wise. He's just physically more solid. He's Manny Pacquiao is a physically bigger fighter than Mikey Garcia, just more solid. Looks a lot more athletic, faster, and yeah, all of those things would make it. I would lean towards him. It'd make it. It still would be kind of compelling, considering Mikey's only had tough fights versus guys who are larger in the division, we're real welterweights, like Errol, Spence, and Jesse Vargas. So it'll be something interesting to see, but I still will pull for Manny Pacquiao. I just feel it was a strategic moving of his career, because this guy, he got Broner. The Broner fight was closer than people say, but he got the Broner fight, managed to come out on top in that one. Picked Thurman after Thurman didn't look that good against Josesito Lopez, and I don't know what's going on with him. He didn't seem up to par. I mean, this fool was eating ice cream before the fight, like just unprofessional, man. And yeah, he was able to get a far from the best version of Keith Thurman. A Thurman I don't even think his heart is really in the game anymore. It hasn't been for a while. He's collecting checks, and ain't nothing wrong with that. If you're going to fight, might as well get the most bread out of it. But don't play around with it. Please don't play around with it, because you could get hurt, And he knows that better than anyone, because, I mean, let's not pretend he's not elite talent. It's just, I don't think his soul is in it. But that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, as I was saying, that fight, Manny has been strategically moving his career in the last, really the last decade, and is getting egregious at this point now that he signed over to the PBC, and he kind of vanished once he got over there. I think they signed him with the intention that he would fight Spence eventually, or he would have built up Thurman, and then Thurman would have fought Spence. I think that's what the real plan was. But Thurman didn't fulfill his end of the deal, his end of the bargain, and now you got Spence looking for a fight with Pacquiao that I honestly believe he'll retire before he takes. That's just my take on it. We'll see what happens. We'll see if this is actually factual. Garcia sounded extremely confident that it was, but who knows? You know, there were extreme confidences that Kell Brook and Bud Crawford would be fighting, but here we are. It sounds like that's not coming to fruition either. So we'll just keep my eye on it, and we'll see what develops. Hopefully, it's not true. I really don't want him to take that fight because I think the winner, Spence Garcia, deserves that fight more than anyone else. I want to see these belts come together. We're almost at undisputed at 154. I think we need to get to undisputed at 147 as well. But yeah, this has been the Boxing Politics, kicking it with you again. It's your boy BG. Y'all take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.